Good morning, everybody. I'll do a quick video this morning. We, I'd seen it a couple of times, and now it's getting more and more prevalent. Just the phrase "flat Earth" is becoming a slur. You know, the people who believe in flat Earth, which I'm one of them. We're all guilty of it, and there's no way around it, because when you talk about it to other people, there's talking points, right? There's sunsets, and the horizon, and being able to bring things into view that have supposedly gone over the horizon. We have all these talking points. We have the fact that Polaris never moves. We have so many proofs, and it's kind of like a script, and everybody knows it. We all know the script that that heliocentric is just retarded, because there's no way we're spinning 1,000 miles an hour, hurling through the universe at 66,000 miles an hour around the sun, going at 500,000 miles an hour, into an ever expanding in the universe, 1,000,000 miles an hour. Yeah. And what's happened, and what's with it gets it. He had a debate the other day, and this happened to him. It's they know that we don't have anything that they would ever consider official. No official proof. So they've gotten to the point where they're like, where's your proof? Where's your scientific data? Where's your NASA study? Where's your peer-reviewed studies? Flat Earth is just it's bullshit. It's bullshit. And so it's become a slur. It's a joke. And we gotta stop saying it, because people don't take you serious. Like he was saying, I think one of the most important things, if you're going to talk to somebody about it, is take the emphasis off of flat Earth and make them prove the spinning ball. And like he said, he starts off all these debates with, okay, before we even get started, no ad hominem attacks, no straw mans, no appeal to authorities, no poisoning of the well. Let's just use facts. Let's just talk about facts. What's out there? But those people can't do it. First thing, like this last debate he had, he asked the guy talking about astrology, talking about solar system. And this guy immediately starts going, well, we all know through NASA's research that Earth is a spinning ball and flat Earth is a hoax. Flat Earth is, and he goes, well, I thought we were talking about the solar system. What are you talking about, flat Earth? And the guy's like, because you're an idiot. And that's all they can do is just attack you. And not even talking about flat Earth, but they keep throwing it in. You believe in flat Earth. Why would I believe you? That type of deal. Wake and bake with you guys as usual. But the whole Dave Weiss and his app, huge help. But Dave Weiss did so good in laying out these things we know. People have gotten lazy, and they sound like the left. They have their talking points, and there's nothing. They don't go any further. They're not able to. And I don't know many people that would be able to speak to it the way on the depth that people like Witzik can, because he knows, he's done the research, he knows all the results from Michelson Morley, he knows results from all these different tests they've done, to detect curvature and to detect spin, and he can talk to it. But these people, they and that's what was bad. He was asking them questions, and they couldn't answer any of them. They just went automatically to attacks. They just went automatically to to calling names, to mocking, laughing, flat earth, you're flat earther. So we gotta stop. We gotta stop. We gotta just there go facts, and we just gotta go at them about. There's zero proof that this thing is spinning. Zero proof. The sun is 93 million miles away. There's zero proof. It's just talk. It's theory and philosophy. And who was it? Was it Hubble? And his famous quote? Was it him? I forget who has the famous quote about, it's basically just philosophy. And there's no way that they're going to have a philosophy that's God-centric. The scientific community is just not going to have it. They said they both would be equally admissible, but you can't go with a God thing. You got to go with the Big Bang. Can't go with anything like that. That's whoa, no way. It's all theology. It's all theology because they have no proof. They can't. They're floating on balloons. There's nothing. They know they can't go out. They have to stick to the story. And them dogs out there, God, I realize now how loud that is on the recording, even though they're out in the front yard. Excuse me. We're in flannel. The weather has turned. It's pretty chilly here, and let me look at the temperature outside for anybody north of the Mason-Dixon line. See what you think. What I think is cold compared to what y'all think is cold. It's 44 out. 44. But this is Texas. 44. And it's going to be 76 this afternoon. So you'll go to work today. People will go out with jackets on and stuff. And then they'll be shucking things. By the end of the day, they'll be sweating. Wish I wasn't wearing this much clothes. And that's what happens. That's why I wear layers. I ain't got them on now, but I'll have layers. It's the way to live in Texas. But that really hit me when he said that, because that is so true now. I've seen several people go, use it as a joke. What are you, a flat earther? What are you gonna be next, a flat earther? And so, I mean, they've successfully turned it into a joke. They use the line, 500 years ago, people thought the earth was flat because they were uneducated. Now we know it's not now. Of course, they had to think it then. They had no idea. It's like, what do you do when they're in charge? When the devil is loosed and he's running everything. I had a weird thought. I was watching a deal yesterday, and they're talking about Elon Musk and George Soros. And Elon's trashing on George. And of course, George deserves it. George Soros is not a saint. Everybody knows that. And I sit there and I saw their names and I thought, oh my God, George Soros, Gog, Elon Musk, Magog, G&M. I don't know. Because they're two big billionaires battling it out on the tech front, political front, media front. I don't know. Just thinking. Just saying. Sitting there looking at them, watching just their pictures, stills there. George and Musk. Gog and Magog? Because the funny thing about what's going on with Israel and everything, and people coming out saying, oh, it's all the signs. all the signs of the return of Christ. But if you look at it, the whole every one of these countries, every one of these situations is I ain't heard anything about Ukraine. It's a money grab, just transfer of wealth, that thing. Um, Israel is economics. It's economics. Gotta keep the military, industrial, the healthcare complex, all those complexes going. And you gotta have a stage. They're rolling out new weaponry and things like that. Kind of like a World's Fair deal. Need a theater to present all your new weapons. And the fact that there's a group out there called the Muslims, from what I understand, that for a long time, they've wished harm on the Jews, complete harm to the to the nth degree, and that sentiment is growing amongst people, and I would think that the devil, being in charge of this material realm, I mean, why not? That's his ultimate. Wouldn't that be his ultimate goal? Is to just eradicate God's people. In his last go around, and deceive everybody into thinking, wow, this is Armageddon coming. But we know Armageddon is come and gone, because what's crazy is people don't even recognize it. Just right there in Israel alone, all the buried stuff, everything is buried. They're still digging, still uncovering stuff. Everything is buried under the Armageddon layer. That's what I'm calling it. Hey, Tony, what's up? The Armageddon layer is everywhere. It's everywhere. And it's funny, people won't acknowledge it. I've seen enough documentaries where they got about 20 feet down, and there was this scorched layer of earth, just scorched, just an organic layer of carbon, and scorchedness. And it's like, Armageddon, hello. And then we've been so indoctrinated, and our 300 religions, Christian religions and sects, have all stayed on that one page. He's coming back. You got to just be patient. Just be ready. Be patient. He coming back. 2023 years later, after his death, resurrection, and ascension, he still hadn't come back. Yeah, it's just too hard for me to believe. Sorry. I love people's justification that, the Bible says to God a day is 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is a day. Okay, so does that mean he's only been away 2 days and like 3 or 4 hours? Is that the way you view it? That in God's eyes, he's only been away. Christ only ascended 2 days and a few hours ago. Yeah, I mean that's only 2 ways to look at it. It's either 2023 years ago, or it was 2 days and 23 minutes ago. I guess that's the way that would work. But it just doesn't make any sense to me. It makes more sense to me that he's come and gone. That answers so many questions. All the buildings, all the melted mountains, all the canals and the infrastructure and the unexplained perfectly aligned cosmological structures and gadgets and doohickeys they've set up all over the place because they can't tell us nothing about that. They don't know nothing. That's what's so funny. They say that they know exactly what the center, the core of the earth looks like, that they can't tell us what really was going on 200 years ago. No, it was built buildings in a year. Yeah, sure they did. Sure they did. Sure they built buildings in 1 year. And yeah, those stories are just crazy. Come on, man. But people buy it. People are so indoctrinated. Elementary school, they start with it. Boom, boom, boom. Nailing you down. Making sure you understand that this is what's going on. And I don't even remember anybody saying things like, now, this is truth. This is right. This is factual. This is truth. It's impeccably, annotated with its with its references, and it's perfect. Everybody did the work. It was double, triple checked, and this is it. No, it just, they said that's what it was, and teachers got the book and put the posters on the walls, and we went, wow, cool. We didn't even know any different. We didn't know to ask any other questions, but how come it's going so fast, teacher? How come we're spinning so fast? Oh, well, it has to. If it doesn't spin that fast, and everything flies off. Which, as a kid, knew that getting on the on the merry-go-round, and the faster it went, you'd fly off. You didn't go to the center. You didn't get pulled to the center, but that's what they're telling us happens. Everything gets pulled in instead of thrown off. And we bought it. Everybody buys it. Everybody's like, makes sense to me. Spin faster, suck in. Yeah. Even though everything you've ever known, ever seen, when something spins, it flies everything off, especially a ball. But what do you do? What do you do? So many people are indoctrinated. It's just in the line with them. They'll die on that hill. My little sativa vape pen. These are pretty nice. This one tastes terrible. Oh, it tastes so bad. It tastes terrible. I don't know who comes with these flavors, but they're terrible. But yeah, this whole thing with Israel, boy, they are gonna milk it. I ain't heard nothing about Ukraine in the last 2 weeks. Nothing. They're just taking our money, just taking the money and weakening us. And you would think our freaking government, as soon as that happened with Israel, everybody thought knee-jerk reaction should be shut the border down, close this border down. But not us. Not us. Leave that sucker wide open. Keep waving them in. This way. Hang on, let me cut that wire for you. Did you see that? Did you see that? Freaking Mayorkas ordered the Border Patrol to go down and cut the wires so they could come through. Wire that we had put down. And they went and cut it. Let them through. Wow. And then, I watched the deal the other day in Mayorkas. They pulled, what did they say, close to 500? I want to say 500. 500 agents off of cases where they were investigating trafficking, drugs, fentanyl, doing all that. Pulled them off to go down and help process people. And they put most of them, from this report, into the kitchen, serving illegals sandwiches. Yeah, I mean, I was like, dude, what? Pulled them off of all this other stuff, of fentanyl investigations, trafficking investigations, pulled them off to come down and serve sandwiches. That's our government. And that guy, Mayorkas, he is, man, wow. He is definitely a Marxist. That guy, wow. he with Josh Hawley the other day. He he was asking him about one of their employees that had a pro-Palestinian uh, deal on her Facebook or Twitter or something, and she's with the slogan, from the land to the sea, clearing the Israelis out. She's on that. She's on board. And he asked her, he says, did you not fire her? And he goes, well, I can't talk about, employee, investigations. Can't talk about that. And he says, what'd you do? He says, well, she's on paid leave right now. And he's like, do you have any idea? Did you look at her record? Did you see how many people she adjudicated? Did she not let Jews in? Did she let Palestinians in? Who's she letting in? She gets to say yes and no on people. What's her record? I'm sure she's impeccable. She's impeccable like everybody else in this gig. It's like, wow, got these people in these positions, and we have no idea how many levers they get to pull. We don't know what side they're on. They just they're the bureaucracy. She's one of the great examples of the bureaucracy. She's at that level where she can make those decisions that have big effects. Below her is nobody. She's that rung where the top comes down and goes, do it. That was like the one they had in there last week, that she's part of a division of that. And she was sent an email where her boss told her, he says, look, we need an assembly line down there. We need things moving. If you can't do that, I'll find somebody who will. And she says, I can do it. I'll do it. And they just start cutting all the corners. That's when the 82,000 kids were just handed over to people. We have process, taking advantage of a crisis. And that dude doing it is, what's his name? I forget his name all of a sudden. He's an Obama buddy. He's from Chicago. And he's making big decisions about the border. And he's like, you let people through, or I'll find somebody who will. And that's scary. And I really have gotten to a point where this Joe Biden and this money thing, if that was you or me, and we had one shell company, and we had $20 go through that son of a bitch, and they didn't get their money off of, taxes off of, we'd be in jail. We'd be under the jail. That's just, man, that's just disheartening how crooked they're willing to be right in our faces. I mean, geez, the way they did all that, they weren't trying too hard to hide nothing. It was just not, they weren't trying really that hard. Because when you set up all these shell companies, and wow. And the fact that IRS had, what do they say, 100 flagged interactions on their accounts that deserve looking into. Several investigations are started and then squashed, and they do that kind of stuff. So when you start an investigation, everything you find, you put in a file, and you close it, and then you throw that stuff away like it never happened. And so if you start up again, nothing new here. Looks clean to me. Well, everything you found, you toss it. It's golly. I was like that. What was that movie? Oh, what was it? It was a deal where he got recruited for drug smuggling by the CIA, and when the CIA was done with him, back at the office, you see him and the guys going around to everybody that worked with him on this case and hand them burn bags. Anything to do with this guy, put it in the burn bag. What do you do if you have this or this? burn bag. Everybody knows. No, burning everything. Wow. How many things have they burned? How many? Oh, jeez. They're just, oh. And the bad thing is, and in my lifetime, it's felt this way, that when it comes to the law, as like it got flipped at some point in the 70s, maybe early 80s, where it quit being a situation where you commit a crime and they have to investigate and they have to catch you. It got to a point where they're looking at you to commit a crime. They're just watching, waiting for you to commit a crime. Anything. And sometimes you don't even have to commit one. They'll just get this person, and like with Trump, and we'll find the crime. Don't worry about it. We'll find something they did. And my whole lifetime, I've felt that dynamic. That wow, I've heard it my whole life. That every citizen breaks at least 2 or 3 laws every day unknowingly. Wow, what kind of fear mongering is that? Always hearing that you're breaking a law, you don't even know it. So watch out. Been told that our whole lives. Crazy. That's like when they talk about the Palestinians. Well, geez, the last couple of generations, as soon as they're born, they're told, we're in war, we're at war. Every generation, the last 2 or 3 of them, we're at war. This is what we do. We want them dead. Here's a charter. Anyone if you see one behind a blade of grass, behind a rock, say, oh Allah, here's a Jew behind this rock. Hey, yeah. And is that what's the deal? Because a lot of people, and I'm on board with it, believe that that's the synagogue of Satan, and that the Muslims, I think the Muslims are just are misguided in their end results. I ain't got a big problem with their rules and stuff. Their rules against infidelities, their rules against theft and murder, and all those things, usury, homosexuality, all that. I ain't got a problem with those stances. That's their culture, and if they don't want it in their culture, in their communities, that's up to them. And I don't mind that at all. But it's when they want to end you for not being one of them. I can't go with that. They want to end everybody that's not on their team, and that's can't do that. But a lot of the other stuff you can't deny. That's pretty good. The women having to cover everything and do all that. Yeah, no, not so good. But their purity and their understanding that they're representative of their family, and you be modest. You be modest. You don't be hanging out in public. You don't be showing everything like we do here. They have no modesty, and I appreciate those attributes. You can't go in public these days without seeing some old gal that you're just like, whoa. Whether it's these huge eyelashes and all this makeup lately, wow. What's up with these huge eyelashes? I went and got new glasses the other day. Think about it. That was crazy. Shit happens to me. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I just bounce around on subjects, don't I? But went and got some eye exam a couple of weeks ago, week and a half ago. They called the other day and said, your glasses are ready. So I go into town. And I put them on. The guy hands me the little card to read. And I look at it and I'm like, I can't read any of it. And he's like, well, they're transition. Look, you got to look through the bottom. I said, I know how to look through glasses. I said, I can't read anything. It's worse. And I lift them up. It says, it's worse than without them. I can see better without these glasses. And the guy's like, excuse me. And he looks at them. He's like, well, let me take you over. And takes me over to another old gal. And I put them on. I'm like, I can't see. I can't. So across the room, I can see fine. I said, but up close, it's gone. It's blurred. It's like they don't work at all. And she's like, well, here, let me see. It takes a while. It takes a day or two. And I said, this ain't gonna take a day or two. This is forever. I can't see nothing. It's completely blurry. So she starts looking at them, trying to find the transition. And she goes to the back. Her and another girl are looking at them. And finally, they just decide they didn't do the bottom part. They single vision lens. They didn't do the transition to the bottom part. And I'm like, this has happened to me. How does this happen to me? In a year's time, how many times do they get a prescription in for somebody and not do half of it on the lenses? I don't know. I doubt that happens very often. But that kind of crap happened to me. And I'm like, Lord, okay, you want me to be patient. You're just running me in the ground with this patience stuff on these people. You know? And they're, oh, we're so sorry. I'm like, what do you want me to do? Call me when they get back. And so I didn't have any glasses. I didn't take those with me. I didn't have any. And then I did something I hadn't done in 3 years. I went and got a professional haircut. Yeah, I've cut my own hair with some clippers for the last 3 years. That was the first professional haircut I've been to in 3 years. And it wasn't no different. I did just as good with my clippers. It was like, oh my God. Now I remember why I was just cutting my own hair. It's not worth it. And yeah, guys, back on topic, the stop saying flat earth. It's they're using it as a slur. Just question heliocentrism, question the spinning ball. Just make sure they understand there's no proof whatsoever from anybody anywhere, solid proof that this thing is spinning. They've proven the celestial bodies are moving. They've proven there's rotation up there, but not here. What do you say? I mean, they say it themselves. We knew never, no rotation down here. No way, no how. We hadn't seen a years of it. Nothing. But up there, yeah, those things are moving around. They're moving. We've done time lapse, and you can see they're doing this, not this. And that's one of the things to me that nobody questions. Nobody's like, yeah, man, how come when you do it time lapse, you put Polaris in the center, everything's going around and nothing's going this way? You told us things are going this way, but they're going that way. It's not kosher, man. Like the song says, the wheel in the sky keeps turning. And it's turning like this, not like this. And they got nothing to say when you're like, okay, how come if this isn't so firm in its placement and in its cycles that you can go back 100 years, 200 years, 500 years and say there were eclipses here, this was a cycle. If it wasn't so precise and so perfect every single minute of every day of every year of every century, then how do I deal with you? If you can't look at your own data and go, yeah, this ain't going nowhere. This is just exactly the same day after day, year after year, century after century. It doesn't change. It is firm in its placements, and it is perfect in its cycles. Perfect. It can't be hurling through space 66,000 miles an hour. Yeah, it just can't be. It can't be. And they have never proved that it be. They just theorize that it be. So we're a non-rotating realm. Don't say flat Earth. Just say that's all I can figure to say is we're a non-rotating realm, and nobody can prove any different. Nobody can prove anything outside that. You just can't. They won't let you go to Antarctica to prove ice wall and stuff. So what do you do with that? You know, it's dead in the water there. They won't give up nothing else. And they can't prove rotation. So we got to go with a non-rotating realm. That's about all I can figure, because they're so good at the propaganda. You know, what do you do? Educate one at a time in your circle of influence. Get them to just start looking around and asking the same question themselves. Like, yes, this whole last couple of weeks, the moon's in the sky in the middle of the day, right? Sun's shining right on it, but it started quarter moon, went all the way to half. Now it's waning back, and it's half tonight. But it's in the sky. It's in the sky all day with the sun, and nobody on the Helios side goes, "What the fudge? I thought y'all told me that the reason you could only see part of the moon was because the sun and the earth was blocking it, and could only get so much of it, and the earth's in the way. And how could earth ain't in the way now? It's a half a moon." That's what's always got me. Nobody goes, "Yeah, that's right. They always told us the only reason that the moon did that was because it was blocking it." But then decade after decade, century after century, people saw the moon in the sky with the sun and never went, "Huh? Wait a minute." Or they didn't look up. For the longest time, I don't think people looked up. That's why chemtrails were such a mystery to people, because all of a sudden people start looking up and they're going, "Oh, whoa, what is that? Why? What is that?" So what do you do, man? What do you do? No more flat earth, non-rotating realm. Because now it's a slur. Now it's a mocking, ridicule. They take it, it's in its early stages of when they really, really in the 80s and 90s started using racist real heavy. Everybody was racist if you didn't agree with them. It didn't matter what the subject was. You're just racist. And it's kind of got its early venom like that did. It hurts people. It really shuts down conversation. It takes it all to another place where it doesn't need to be. But, you gotta be honest with people. What do you do? Non-rotating realm. That's where we are. And the first documentary that came out, that just was so harmful. And I've seen interviews with the guys since then, and they say that was deceptive editing. That after they said they saw the 15 degrees of shift, that they went and tried it again in another position, and it wasn't there for the earth. It was, the cosmology does it, but they said it wasn't. They repeated it a couple of times, and it wasn't, but they didn't put that in the documentary. They just put in the one phrase where the guy says, "Yeah, and then we found 15 degrees of rotation and shift," and we were like, "Oh my!" And that's, I think that's right where they end it. It's just makes the guy at the end go, "We were completely wrong. Everything you just watched, everything I just said about flat Earth is wrong." So they poison the well right off. They mess that up, and everybody knows when you searched flat Earth, first thing you came to was Flat Earth Society, and so we got to do a new tact. Go watch Witsit Gets It. Latest stuff. He's really making a whole different tact. He's refusing to debate anybody anymore of these idiots with these YouTube channels that think they know something, and he's dealing with these idiots, and all they can do is go, "Yeah, but you're a flat earther. Who you explain that? That's stupid. You're just dumb. You're just dumb. So they can't debate. Ask them a very technical question. They're just lost. They have no idea. So he said, I'm not debating any more of these people. You got to have credentials. You got to have knowledge on the subject. You got to pass. He says, I'm going to make up some kind of a quiz or something that they'll have to take and pass to my satisfaction before I'll debate them. He says, I'm done with this. Because all those dudes do, like that one guy, this last one, he just interrupt, answer the question, answer my question. And he's like, shut up. I'm answering your question, but you're too thick to understand my words. And one guy even said, look, let's not get too technical on this. What do you mean that I can't get technical? I can't use big words like, what was it? What's the electrical fields he was talking about? The dipolar, and the electrostatics and stuff. And we just, let's not get too technical. So I can't get technical, and you get to call me names and make fun of me, and you win. You're smarter than me because you don't want me to get technical. It's like the Democrats always say, let's not let facts get in the way of a good narrative. Okay, we like what we're saying here. Let's not bring in facts. That would ruin everything for us. And plus, hey, we'll do facts if you let us bring the facts and don't question them. We'll bring the facts. You'll take them, you'll believe them, and you'll pass them around as if they're truths for us. And anybody that says different, you go ballistic on their butts. You don't let them talk about a spinning ball Earth like it's anything less than a miracle. And you make sure they understand. Only way we could have gotten here is a Big Bang. That's the only way it could have worked. It's been proven. They always say stuff like that. They've already proven it. It's the only way it'll work is the Big Bang. And it's like, they haven't proven nothing, but you guys, y'all believe it. It's crazy. It's crazy. But what do? Stop saying flat Earth. Stop saying it. Non-rotating realm. We're in a non-rotating realm. We don't know how big it is. They told us it's certain size, but we don't know. We don't know how big this thing is. This could be just wow. I mean, the enormity that it could be versus what we do know. It's what they do tell us is pretty big as it is, but they've hidden pretty important stuff from us before. Pretty important stuff. Things that it would have been nice to know. The fluoride thing, the thalidomide thing, the jab things. It'd been nice to know. It'd been nice to know that stuff. But we're in the best country in the world, they tell us. That's what everybody says. Everybody wants to come here. Everybody wants our free stuff. We're the best country in the world. We're nice guys. We're nice guys, aren't we? Aren't we the nice guys? It's hard to... Is anybody a nice guy in this day and age? Think about it. Is there a nice guy out there that's going, come on, everybody, stop. Just stop fighting. Look, here, y'all, you want this? Let's work together. There's no nice guy. There's no nice guy anywhere advocating for any position other than you mess with us, we gonna beat you up. You can't have our stuff. You took our stuff, or you're taking our stuff, or it's and then if we were really headed towards the end times of Christ returned, there'd be the 7 churches that were almost blemish free. Philadelphia is blemish free. God God had favor on them. Where would those be today? Is that Jesse Duplantis? Is that is that Joel Osteen? Is he one of the 7 churches that the Bible talks about? Is Joel Osteen going to get a letter unsealed, and the Lord come place judgment on him, on that church? Does that sound likely? Benny Hahn, is he one of the 7 churches? Is you know them all. Wow. Is his name Rick Myers? Saddleback Church, 500,000 people. Is that one of the 7 churches of the Bible that it talks about Revelations in the end? It's hard to look around and think, well, yeah, of course there's 7 churches. Of course we're heading for the end times. All this is, yeah, for sure. It's very, very familiar. I've read this before. People don't ever ask those questions, because that's a huge thing to me. That if the end times were near, building up to it, these churches would be doing their thing. These churches, all 7 of them, would be getting there. Their act would be together, except for one thing, which they rectified, from what I understood. So they were able to redeem themselves to a point. But hey, do you see it? I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see 7 churches. I don't see any of that kind of stuff happening. The other stuff, the debauchery, the hedonism, the godlessness, that's all that we've known in our history. We've not known, outside that, we've not known a corrupt church, a corrupt upper management, kings, queens, presidents, prime ministers. They come by a lot of names, but hadn't been any real good guys. Think about it. Hadn't been any really top-notch good fellas out there going, we can all do this if we all just, take a pill. Ireland, you're going to get all your potatoes that you need. Middle East, you're going to get all the water, all the stuff you need. Everybody just settle down and need fight. And what's crazy is the countries like us and the ones in Europe that are manufacturers of these weapons, if we want to stop the wars, just stop making the stuff. And the little guys, they'll run out of ammunition eventually. Just quit selling them the stuff. Quit selling them all the military gear and garb. Did you see those pictures? I was tripping out. Watch those pictures of the Israeli deal, the Hamas guys in their uniforms. They have brand new stuff, man. That's high quality. Do you see those uniforms they're wearing? It's brand new stuff. They're not a ragtag group. They're not trying to match each other with, we'll get close as we can. They got these, and you could tell they're brand new. They didn't have a speck of dirt or dust or nothing on them. And when I saw that, I thought, wow, how'd they do that? Okay, we're going in alphabetical order. All the Abdullahs, come get in line, get your uniform. All the Bakhars, you follow them. I don't know, get all your new uniforms. Let's go. Oh, wow, these are nice. These are really nice. Who provided these? Iran did. Iran, they sent these over. But one of the things is they all fit well. They're not like one size fits all. You see different size people in their nice fitted uniforms. So what's up with that? I thought they were a guerrilla group. I didn't think they cuddled to conventional rules of war. Who's outside? Baxter outside? How long have you been out there, Baxter? Baxter been outside for a while. It just started to bark. But think about that. How did they get out of that? How do they keep getting all the missiles? How do they keep getting all this stuff? Come on. It just, if you don't want any more war, stop doing that. Stop doing it. I don't know. It's just me. But I'll end it there. Stop saying flat earth. Guys, stop. Hold on. Almost done here. But stop saying flat earth. Non-rotating realm is about all we can do. And make them prove it. Make them prove that this thing is spinning, since the smartest guys we've ever known of, and at least that came forward, couldn't prove it was spinning. Why do they believe it? There's no proof. All right, guys. God bless. Good discernment. Love you. Take care.